Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a piece of technology that's so small it can fit in your pocket, but so powerful it can unlock some massive creativity. This is the BBC Microbit, and it's totally changing how we learn to code by letting us make our digital ideas physical.
So think about it for a second. What could a microwave and a robot possibly have in common? Well, the answer is they both run on these tiny hidden computers. And the cool part is, today we're going to show you how you can actually command one yourself.
You can basically think of it as a tiny little brain, shrunk down to a single chip. And these things are literally everywhere, in your digital watch, at the gas pump, you name it. They're constantly just controlling and sensing electrical signals. They're super small, they barely use any power, and they're just fantastic at talking to other electronic parts.
Okay, so with that in mind, let's zoom in on one very special microcontroller, one that's designed for literally everyone to use, the BBC Microbit.
Yeah, don't let the circuit board look fool you. This thing is way more than that. It's basically a blank canvas for all your digital ideas. The whole point really is to make it simple enough that you can get started in just a few minutes, but powerful enough to bring some really complex creations to life. All right, let's take a quick look around this thing. So on the front, you've got this 5x5 grid of red lights, these LEDs. That's your screen. It's where you can show pictures, scroll some text, whatever you want. And right below that, you've got two programmable buttons, A and B. These are going to be your main way of giving it commands. Now, flip it over to the back. This is where the magic happens. You'll see the processor. That's the actual brain of the whole operation. There's a USB port, which is how you program it and give it power, a little reset button to start your code over, and this is key, a socket for a battery pack so you can unplug it and make your projects totally portable. Okay, but this is where it gets really interesting. The Microbit is just packed with all these built-in sensors. Right out of the box, it can detect motion, it can tell you which way is north like a compass, it can sense how bright the room is, the temperature, and even sound. And the newer versions, they even added a speaker and a little touch sensor right on the logo. The possibilities just keep growing. Okay, so you've got this cool little computer with all these sensors, but how do you actually tell it what to do? How do you get an idea out of your head and onto this device? Believe it or not, it is incredibly simple. Seriously, you just plug the Microbit into your computer and it pops up just like a regular USB drive. Then you write your code in a web browser, download it as one little file, and just drag and drop that file right onto the Microbit. And boom, that's it. Your program is running. It's literally designed to get you from zero to creating in just a couple of minutes. And what's cool is you even get a choice in how you want to code. If you're just starting out, the Make Code Editor is probably the best place to begin. You build your programs visually just by snapping these blocks together, kind of like digital Legos, But if you want to learn a language that pros use, you can switch over to the Python editor and write actual text-based code. All right, so we know what it is, we know how to program it. Now for the really fun part. What can you actually make with this thing? Well, remember that motion sensor we talked about? With that alone, you could invent completely new musical instruments. Imagine building a guitar, and the more you shake it, the louder the volume gets. Or you could change effects just by tilting it. How cool is that? Or hey, what about games? You could totally code a game of hot potato in like 5 minutes. You just program a random timer, have the LEDs do a little countdown, and then flash a big icon when time's up. Just like that, you've made an interactive game you can play with your friends. And it's not just for fun and games either. The Microbit is awesome for practical, real-world projects. You could connect it to other bits and pieces, like, say, a moisture sensor in a plant pot and a tiny water pump. A little bit of code, and you've just built an automatic plant watering system. No more thirsty plants. But here's the thing. Using just one Microbit is only scratching the surface. The real magic, and I mean the real magic, happens when you get two or more of them to start talking to each other wirelessly. Yup, it has a built-in radio, so you can have them send messages and data back and forth, no wires needed. And this just blows the doors wide open for what you can create. Think about it. Multiplayer games, a remote control for a robot you built, or even a simple little tracker to see which room your pet is in. It's all possible. So, okay, it's great for hobbyists and personal projects for sure. But the Microbit was really designed from the ground up to be this amazing tool for learning in schools, to make all these digital ideas something you can actually hold and see. And we're not just talking about computer science class here. Nope, the Microbit is being used all across the curriculum.
In science, you can use it to log data from experiments. In music, you can compose tunes with it. You can even make digital flashcards for your language class. It's that versatile. And to make it easy, teachers have access to literally hundreds of free lesson plans and resources. So, for example, instead of just reading about loops in code, students can actually animate a volcano erupting on the LED screen. It just makes these abstract ideas totally real. So, when you get right down to it, the microbit isn't really just one thing. It's a blank canvas. It can be a game, a scientific instrument, a piece of art, a musical tool, or something that nobody has even dreamed up yet. It's a pocket-sized computer with endless potential. So that really leaves just one question. What will you make it?